Good evening. My name is Steve Lentini, and I'm your host for Different Thinking for Different Times. This is Season 1, Episode 7. So, we've talked about the reasoning behind different thinking and why different thinking is required for today's times, because we have so many challenges that activate our reactive mind. And it's the perfect time to develop a level of thinking above your thinking and to expand what I call the acorn brain. When I passed away on November 18th, 2002, nothing from here, nothing from Earth was there. None of the things that we use to judge ourselves and to judge others. There was no mention of religion or opposite sexes or any of the things I had accomplished in life. Houses I had bought. I think I've owned 10 or 12 houses, and some of them in very auspicious places. And none of the things that I had achieved or measured myself against were there. So one second I was here on Earth, and the next second I was gone. And what I learned was that I'm enough without anything. So most of my life I had spent either in the past or in the future without surrendering to the moment. And oh yeah, there were present moments. But most of my life I spent striving to make more money. I've certainly earned a lot. Every 3 or 4 years, over $1 million. Owned a lot of different things, and it was things and money and striving, right, for other things. I wrote books. I thought all of that stuff raised me up, and none of it's true. So we have an intrinsic value the second we're born, but we go through things, of course, that impact our life, and the gift in them is the invitation. They invite us to get over ourselves. They invite us to elevate our thinking above giving them value. So most of us spend time on what I call the ladder of life. We're either below some people and above others, and we run up and down that ladder. And the truth is, we're all the same. And we don't need anything to give us value. So I was 50 years old, November 13th, 2002, when I went into the hospital. I was doing a seminar, and one second I was fine, and the next second I needed an ambulance. Nothing really mattered at that moment. Although I was grateful, I had a sense, even as I was getting in the ambulance, that it was going to be a life-changing event. And I was grateful for it. I remember the EMTs asking me how I was doing. I said, I don't know how my body is doing, but I'm grateful, right? I had separated in my mind at that point, without really realizing it, my soul and my body, or my essence and my body. And I was enough in that moment. I didn't worry about paying bills or who I owed, or that. None of that crossed my mind. In fact, after I was in the hospital a month, a friend of mine came and said, didn't you buy a car that day? Weren't you going that evening to go pick it up? I said, oh my God, yeah. Why don't you call the dealer? And the dealer said, well, it's paid for. I knew he'd come back to get it. I just wondered what happened to him. So after having spent so much of my life making myself less than, and there were a lot of events that attributed to that. Failed marriages. I was abused as a 10-year-old boy by a family member, and it was confusing because to a boy, oral sex was exciting. Even at 10 or 11, it felt good, but it didn't feel good on the ride home, certainly. And of course, that affected my self-esteem. And from that point on, I spent a lot of time achieving. I had morning paper routes and evening paper routes. I took on Amway when I was 15 or 16. I was always involved in some kind of an entrepreneurial effort. I knew someday I would write books, and all of those things were adding into my intrinsic value in my mind. And when I realized I didn't need any of it at age 50, that moment getting into the ambulance was the most comfortable moment of my life at that time, up until that time. And ever since then, every day's been the World Series. I've never been more present in my life and authentic and willing to speak up, even about being on the other side, which a lot of people don't want to hear about. And that the only thing recorded, the only thing in my life review was the good I had done, the lives I had touched, the people I had helped. And that's the point to our life. We're supposed to get over all our crazy thoughts, separating ourselves from others, making ourselves more than some people, less than others. And really think about how you feel when you do good. That's what we're here to do, is to lift each other up. And then for all the people that spend their life acquiring and achieving and trying to show others how great they are, it's not a bad thing to achieve things and to want to do things, but to do them because they're part of your authentic self, because they're part of the gift you came here with from the universe. So if your passion is to write, write. If your passion is to speak to others and you have a great topic to talk about, get out there and speak about it. If you're a performer, then perform. If you're a builder, then build, and build with the greatest commitment to quality and integrity. And you'd be way above most builders who are just trying to get by and taking advantage of others, shortcuts. And they do that because they're not living their authentic self. You're not getting anything over on others when you try to take advantage of them. You pay the price for that here. This is the cause and effect world. And when we die and leave our bodies, we are one with everything and nothing. You're part of pure consciousness. You're one with infinity. You're one with what flung the stars into space. And trust me, you'll learn that someday. I hope not tonight. But trust me when I tell you that where we go is not interested in our mistakes or in wrongdoing. It's only humans that want us to pay for our mistakes here and then burn in hell forever. And despite what's been written in all the holy books and all the people who would tell you you're damned and you're going to hell, there is no hell. And where we come from, that energy that flung the stars into space, and for me, it's God. Evil cannot exist in the face of that light. God is not even interested in our mistakes. They're for us. They're our gift to grow. The people that bug us are our gift to grow. The people that love us are our gift to grow. Nothing is separate of the divine. That too I learned on the other side. There was only the now. There was no past or no future. There was only the now. So I didn't have a body. I knew I was one with everything and nothing. Then there was a life review. And then I was asked a question, stay or go. And I said, thy will be done. I had never surrendered like that fully to any moment previously, and I was 50 years old. So the gifts I received are that the good we do is somehow etched into the fabric of time, because that's all there was in the life review. And that the divine is only in the now, because it was the now on steroids. And then when I surrendered into the moment, that's the gift I brought with me, along with knowing that there is no hell and that to do good is etched somehow in the fabric of time. So today I do good and chuckle because I see everyone, even and especially the ones who bug me or ask me for money or want a sandwich, or that my acorn brain, my ego brain, my acorn brain that would previously have judged, now I chuckle because to me, they are God in disguise. because the divine could never be separate from us. This whole thing would end. It would be all over in a flash. And so to remember that, especially when we are frustrated and angry and judging the moment is not a fit for our picture, that's one of the biggest gifts, because that's the divine stretching us to say, to get our attention, to wake us up and to say, oh, this must be the plan, to let go of our egoic grip, our white knuckle grip on life because it's not showing up our way. And when we let go, it's amazing how much fun and joy it adds to your life. And when you surrender like that to the moment, you learn the value of being present. And so you are enough. I am enough. Any of the mistakes I made in life were gifts, actually, to get me to grow and to take a new path. And that's the same for all of us. And your job and my job is not to judge others' paths, but to let them have it. Imagine taking a gift from someone. You wouldn't do it. But to judge someone else's path, or to judge someone as less than you or even more than you, is a waste of energy, because it doesn't count in divine time. So to not judge anything and not have anything add value to you confuses many people, because they're keeping score. They're trying to compete with other people in their life who maybe have more or have a higher position. And what they're missing is they're not bringing their divine gift to the moment, because everyone has one. Maybe you're a great painter. Maybe you're a great singer. Maybe you have a passion to play an instrument. Maybe you're a comedian. It doesn't matter. You play sports well. Just bring your full attention to whatever gift you have and to every moment. And if you're feeling frustrated in a job or a career that does not satisfy you, get out. Get a coach and find your passion, and eventually get out. You don't have to get out right away. It could be either and instead of either or. I'll do this and something else while I'm building a full-time income. But know that the divine has your back. The universe has your back. Doors will open when you step out onto the right pathway. And if you make a mistake and pick the wrong pathway, remember there's an old Turkish proverb that says, no matter how far you've gone down a wrong road, turn back. Don't get so serious about this life. Don't try to be perfect. Don't let perfect get in the way of good. And don't worry about what others think of you. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Your job is you. Their job is them. So I am enough and you are enough just as you are. Bring your gifts to the universe. Whatever your passion is, find a way to do it. I'm glad to help. If you want to reach out to me, Steve at stevelentini.com, Steve at stevelentini.com, and I'll be glad to help you get on the right path. That's this evening's episode. Stay tuned for next Thursday. If you have any questions, Steve at stevelentini.com, Steve, Steve, at Steve Lentini, L as in Linda, E-N, T as in Tom, INI.com. Have a great week.